This is a regular council meeting for Tuesday, November 17th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. located in council's chambers. Council President, you want to call the meeting to order?
The regular council meeting of the East Cleveland City Council is called to order. Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilor Stevenson,
Present.
Councilor Gowdy,
Present.
Councilor Martin,
Present.
Councilor Austin, Councilor Smith.
I didn't hear Austin, I didn't hear Smith.
Next, we have remarks of the public
Hold
on.
on one second, Madam Clerk.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't hear or I did not hear. Austin, I didn't hear Smith say anything, I didn't hear Austin say anything. We need to know whether they're in attendance or not.
Smith won't be attending, he sent an email.
What about Austin?
He hasn't logged back on.
Okay, is he in attendance or is he not?
He hasn't logged back on, Martin.
Okay,
Let's
then
move-
he's not in
let's move
attendance, let's
forward.
go forward.
They both absent.
Remarks on public agenda items only.
This is Dr. Bohoviac.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at this resolution 45-20. And, we've had this sort of discussion before, but it says a resolution implementing and adhering to previously passed resolutions, and then it gives a bunch of numbers. The request has been made multiple times in the past that enough information be put on the agenda that the public will know what the item is. These numbers don't tell the public sufficient information to even know whether we want to make any comments about it. So I would like to ask that there be a summary made and then give the public again a chance to discuss, to make comments. Thank you.
To answer your question very quickly,
I want to address something that needs to come to the light. Our senior council members should be able to speak to other members of the council and let them know that the degree of professionalism needs to be taken very serious. To hear you commenting before this meeting starts, if you got a problem with another member on council, we shouldn't have to hear that, because that lets us know in our future that we put you in a position where you can't even comprehend what's going on. You have a personal agenda with this one, personal problem. Maybe we should start going back to the books of telling you, we can't keep you here in the office because you can't get your professionalism together. Let's get that addressed, taken care of immediately.
Yeah, Madam Clerk, point of order, that's got nothing to do with the agenda, please.
are there any other remarks of the public?
I'll say it. If those numbers that are on the agenda and we do not know what they are, why don't you put it so we do?
Anyone else? Anyone else?
You've been on council. Address it so that everybody else doesn't have to figure it out for themselves.
Any other question?
There wasn't no question, that's a statement.
Yeah. Any other remarks of the public?
Gowdy, you're gonna have to move that computer towards her when she talks, so we can hear her.
Excuse me, Mr. Anderson. Could you talk in a decent way and ask in a decent way?
Madam Vice President, will you please move the computer towards the president so that we can hear her properly when she talks? Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions from the public? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Next, we have minutes to be approved. Contracts and Property Committee minutes for November 10th, 2020. We also have Health and Safety Committee minutes for November
This is
10th.
not audible.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to go down with it so they can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilman Austin's online.
Okay,
And let the record reflect that he's here now.
okay. Next, we have the minutes to be approved, contracts
You're
and
not audible.
Victoria's gonna have to move closer.
Next, we have minutes to be approved, Contracts and Property Committee minutes for November 10th, 2020, and also Health and Safety Committee minutes for November 10th, 2020.
Reports and announcements, announcement of the mayor, Mayor King.
What?
No,
This is not
this is the
audible.
first read of those minutes.
Next, we have,
Wait a minute. On the minutes,
yeah,
I haven't read them. They just came out
Well,
today.
I read them. I like to make some additions to the Health and Safety Committee minutes, if I can.
Can you make those corrections and give them to the clerk?
Yeah,
Okay.
just remind me not to forget, okay?
Okay.
All right.
next we have reports and announcements of the mayor.
Mayor King, are you online?
Whoever's speaking in the background, I can't hear you at
Madam,
all.
Madam Vice President, you have to move that computer every time someone different talks, so we can hear them.
That's you, Gotti.
Mayor King, are you there?
The mayor is here.
Okay,
How's everyone doing? I hope well, staying safe. I'll try to keep this brief. Not sure how many people were on the call last week. The much sought after exit interview with our accountants that we've had for a number of years, Chuni and Paniki. Very, very good meeting, Zoom meeting. Not many surprises, a lot of accolades going out to the city, in particular our finance department, Mr. Ian and Steve and his team down there. Done a very good job over the years bringing us up to date with our accounting and our filings for our years. So they just finished 2019. So I'd like to congratulate them again for the job well done with that. I'm still a little not unsure as to whether or not you just had a finance meeting, as I got a text to join the meeting and then I got some kind of an email which I couldn't really decipher what it was telling me to do. It was like it was telling me to have my own meeting. I would just ask Council President, Council Clerk, Council Deputy Clerk, Council Vice President, and other councilors on the line that you be mindful of sunshine laws, that you post your meetings, have your meetings, have them open, public meetings. You can't have a meeting that's closed. You can't have a meeting that you don't post. I'm saying that so we don't open ourselves back up
The meeting was
to frivolous,
Where'd he been?
I don't know, it's supposed to go.
minimal lawsuits. I'm sure our state councilman will remember a number of years ago, there was someone who sued for some open meetings or some public records because it was a small, I think he got like $1,000 or something. We don't even need to subject ourselves to that. Just be mindful of the sunshine laws. We had a food pantry today. It went over pretty well. So, unless there's any questions or concerns, I'll just try to keep it brief. That's all. Thank you.
Well, after.
Madam Clerk,
We have receipts of communication and petitions. And we received summons or lawsuit from Ernest Smith versus Corinne Stevenson, Juanita Gowdy, and Nathaniel Martin. Is there any discussion on that? Okay.
No, we can't discuss current litigation, so let's move on.
We have reports from council committees. The next regular council meeting is gonna be Tuesday, December 1st at 6:30 p.m. And the next agenda review meeting is gonna be Thursday, November 26th at 6:30 p.m.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to, on the reports of council committee, can I do a report on health and safety?
We're not there yet.
I thought she just said that, she skipped over, she went to the next thing, I'm falling down here.
No, I
No.
know.
Okay, alright.
No.
So with the committees, the first meeting is contracts and properties. Any report? Councilor Gowdy?
Well, contracts and property will be meeting December the 8th at 6:30. And we had a review of where the property is actually, Mr. Muhammad want to buy property on Euclid, and we will be discussing that at the next meeting again, and we'll put it in committee. So we will, try to move forward in that, and, in the other contracts that's coming up, like the liquor contracts or whatever coming up, it was, a contract came up about a liquor contract, and it wasn't in our, neighborhood, so it was like in Cleveland Heights, so we had, no comments on that because it wasn't in our neighborhood, so.
Okay.
But if any more contracts coming up, like, Willa contracts or any other contracts that's coming up, I would love it to come before council. Thank you. That's my report.
Madam Clerk?
The next contracts and property meeting is gonna be December 8th at 6:30. Next, we have health and safety.
Okay, health and safety met November 10th. We had a good meeting. We had the Department of, the Kyle County Department of Health, Terry Allen, the health commissioner, spoke about the programs the county implement and responsible for the communities located within our county borders. He briefly touched on the ongoing COVID problem. Mr. Allen stated that he would send information regarding the health department and can help residents in East Cleveland, and would send information to council office regarding such to disseminate to our residents. We also, from the Kyle County Department of Health, was Rick Novikis, Environmental Health Director from the Kyle County Health.
I thought the meeting was gonna be open for a certain percentage of people based on the capacity of the building. That's what the governor said. And after,
It sounds like he didn't have it.
then they closed it completely. I think he said something like that. I didn't know.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Pull the plug and shut it down.
Okay.
What is that?
This is Walker. I guess I'm on mute.
Can I continue or what?
Go ahead.
Am I muted?
No, you good.
Okay, Rick Novikis, the Environmental Health Director, was also with Terry Allen. He explained what his department is responsible for, and he's working with the police department to bring the jail up to code. I spoke about that earlier, about using some of this CARE fund money to do something with our jail. He went on to explain the safety measures his department is working on with the schools during the pandemic, and to keep the children and our staff safe. Mr. Novikis also stated he would be sending additional information per committee chair request to the council office. Chairman Nathaniel Martin invited both gentlemen to participate in our next health and safety meeting December 8th. I also had a document provided from them to make sure that we, when it comes to our jail, that it's the annual inspection. And I'm requesting through our clerks, that we get the last 2 reports of when the jail was inspected by them. So I'm looking for that hopefully December 8th. The city safety forces update. No one appeared from the fire department for whatever reason, I don't know. But we did have Captain Lundy appear. But I should say that the question came up in the meeting about Officer McDonald, and it was recognized that he was given a verbal warning for the record. Lastly, Captain Lundy from the City of East Cleveland Department went over the progress of the police department, this purchase of a new vehicle, and he spoke about new hires as well as a new K-9 unit. The Health and Safety Chair, we're very excited and very bullish about the gun buyback program, which should be in effect within a month or so, and actually gets the guns off the street. I should further state that the gun problem is I would say pandemic all over this country. I was looking at the news before I came to the meeting today. This gun thing is out of control, and hopefully the gun buyback program will help us get some of these guns off the street from irresponsible people, people with mental illness, and people who are not in control of their emotions. Our meeting was adjourned at 6:40 on November 10th, and again, the next meeting will be 5:30, December 8th. Madam Chairman, that concludes the health and safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilwoman. Next, we have the Finance Committee, Councilor Stevenson.
Finance Committee met a few minutes ago.
Y'all, you gotta move it.
It's moved.
The Finance Committee met at 5:30 today, and we discussed basically what the process was for the budget hearings, which start tomorrow at 11 o'clock and run through Friday, I believe. We also talked about the need to address the situation with the CARES Act funding, and how we plan to move forward with that, hearing from all of the other counselors involved. That concludes my report.
Next, we have General Services, Tim Austin, Councilor Tim Austin.
You're not audible.
Okay,
Madam Clerk, I can barely hear you, but
I'm sorry.
I do have a report for General Services Administration.
okay,
As a reminder, the Service Department and the Cuyahoga County Public Works will do a drain cleaning service at a residence at no cost to the resident annually. That service that will be provided will require an approval from our Service Department, so it's not just call them and they'll come out. The gas lines are being installed in Ward 2. The leak back status, I think I need another update. The last status I had was that the leak back should be out any day, and the delay in the repair of the leak back system was that the agent that's repairing the system ordered the wrong part twice. Resurfacing continues along Gillett Avenue, so kind of bear with the people that they do what they have to do to make our city more travel worthy, if you will. I am waiting on the response from the administration on the signs to be posted with the change of speed limit, so more can follow on that for General Services. The next General Services Committee meeting will be held on Thursday, 5:30 p.m. via Zoom. Subject to your questions or concerns, that's all I have for General Services.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
the next General Services, Committee meeting is gonna be November 19th at 5:30. And Ernest Smith, Councilor Ernest Smith, the Chair for Personnel and Appointments, is not here at this time.
Yeah.
Yes, I noted that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure. We have no proclamations at this time.
Can it just be up.
We have no proclamations at this time. We have no bids at this time. Next, we're gonna go to legislation. Resolution 45-20 is a first read. A resolution implementing and adhering to previously passed resolutions 104-11, 105-11, 107-11, 108-11, and 109-11 as set forth in Exhibit A. This is requested and sponsored by Corinne C. Stevenson, President.
Read to them the summary information for each one of those.
Okay. I'm going to read the preambles for the resolutions. Resolution number 104-11, a resolution in furtherance of Section 60F of the Charter of the City of East Cleveland, providing that the mayor submit to council by the end of each fiscal year a separate schedule for each department showing the things necessary for the department to do during the year, and which of any desirable things it ought to do if possible. This was requested by Council President Dr. Joy Jordan, also sponsored by Council President Jordan. The first reading was completed on 12/19/11 at the special council meeting, and it passed the second reading on January 3rd, 2012. Next resolution, 105-11, a resolution in furtherance of Section 67 of the Charter of the City of East Cleveland, providing that the finance director shall provide to council a quarterly report of aggregate receipts and expenditures by department, which report shall be published by council in a manner that provides full publicity. This was requested and sponsored by Council President Dr. Joy Jordan. First reading completed on December 19, 2011 at the special council meeting. And it passed the second reading on January 3rd, 2012. Resolution 107-11, a resolution in furtherance of Section 60E of the Charter of the City of East Cleveland, providing that the finance director shall submit to council on a quarterly basis a detailed inventory of supplies and material on hand and the value thereof at the date of preparation. Requested and sponsored by Council President Dr. Joy Jordan. Received from the Law Department on December 27, 2011 and referred to committee. First reading completed on January 3rd, 2012, and it passed the second reading on January 17th, 2012. Resolution 108-11, a resolution providing that the finance director shall certify to council by the end of the fiscal year that all super blanket purchase orders in place during the fiscal year have terminated or will terminate by the last day of the year. The finance director shall also provide information to council regarding any anticipated super blanket purchase orders or blanket purchase orders that are planned for the upcoming fiscal year by March 31st of each fiscal year. Sponsored and requested by Council President Dr. Joy Jordan. Received from the Law Department on December 27th, 2011 and referred to committee. First reading completed on January 3rd, 2012, and it passed the second reading on January 17th, 2012. And lastly, the resolution 109-11, a resolution in furtherance of Section 60F of the Charter of the City of East Cleveland, providing that the mayor shall submit to council on a quarterly basis a schedule of essential personnel per department. Requested and sponsored by Council President Joy Jordan. Received from the Law Department on December 27th, 2011 and referred to committee. First reading completed on January 3rd, 2012 and second reading, it passed the second reading on January 17th, 2012. Is there any discussion?
Yes, no, I have a question. I think we talked earlier, first I seen a note from the law director about the charter amendment, and I guess somebody could probably give me squared away, make sure I'm interpreting her email correctly. The notes that I just took and I referenced before, it talked about just kind of going to talk to the administration or directly to our finance, chair, if you will, not the chair, but the finance director. So you can ask him specifically for the information that, may be lacking. I had also requested a little bit of information about some open contract, and I didn't necessarily receive it. But I think that this is an opportunity for us to revisit, especially if it's already in legislation. There's no need to publish new legislation. The cover legislation is already open. It's a matter of enforcement. And I think that we need to make sure that we ask for that enforcement, or make sure that the things that are already in legislative form are properly executed and have the right authority to actually get the outcome that's expected. So if this information is already in legislative form, it may not be the best thing to ask for it in legislative form again, if there's no enforcement at this point. I want to know if either the mayor or somebody can kind of talk about how we, not necessarily legislate on top of legislate, but just get the enforcement and or the reporting that's required. So that's what I believe, that we cannot have to re-legislate, but just have enforcement if it's relative and or reconcile the difference between my interpretation and what the law director is interpreting. Not saying that we are, our interpretations are not the same, but I thought that this is an opportunity for us to either enforce what's already on the books or see if it's a valid piece of legislation and from 2011. If she said it needed to be either a charter amendment or something need to be on the ballot to change our charter, then we need to do that. So I'm looking for some clarity and some opportunity enforcement. Thank you.
Council, ma'am, speak. This is Charles, Fund Director.
Go ahead, Charles.
So, as Councilor Austin just alluded to, from reading the legal opinion from Director Hemmings, and she's unable to make the meeting tonight. She's having some internet technical difficulties. But
We get our own.
to what Councilor Austin just mentioned, the gist of what Willow's opinion was, even though that legislation was passed by council back into
Charles, you fading. We can't hear you.
We lost Director Ian. It looks like his, internet went out.
Okay, let's hope he gets back in. Meanwhile, clerk can we move on?
We have remarks and requests of the public.
They cannot hear you.
You need to take a motion on that legislation.
This is a first read,
Right.
no motion
Move
required.
it forward.
This is, there's nowhere to move it to, except the next council
To the
meeting.
next meeting, correct.
Yeah, you move it to the next.
Are we moving it forward?
Yeah.
It automatically goes forward, it's the first reading.
Goes forward.
Are we on remarks in public yet?
Yes,
May I be recognized?
Yes.
Is anybody else right? Okay, my concern is on the street resurfacing. I was under the impression that Superior was going to be resurfaced. Is there any plan to resurface Superior going up the hill from Euclid?
Superior going up the hill, I believe, was just done last year, they just completed that.
sometime.
Yeah, let the mayor respond. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the streets is a part of the Euclid Superior thing we've been talking about the last 2 or 3 months. So it's supposed to be being paid, going up Superior.
It's absolutely awful, all the way up to Cleveland Heights, all the way up to Mayfield.
I don't go that way, so.
Finance director's logged back on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Charles,
Yes.
yeah, just defer them to read her opinion, please. Let's not get into anything other than that. Just let them read her opinion. It's in there. There's no need to explain it to them. Thank you.
What? Where's her opinion?
What was her opinion?
It's in this document here, where it says legal opinion. You don't see it there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing she sent out a while back.
But Mayor, if you, I just wanted to say to also Councilor Austin's point, if there's information that council is requiring or asking for, I hope that I've been, and maybe I can do better to give that information that's being asked for. I do put out monthly reports, and some of those most of the information that's being asked for is in the monthly reports. Perhaps we can go over the monthly reports so you would get an understanding that some of the information that is in this resolution that is being asked for is already included each and every month.
Okay, that works. We have your information, Charles, in some instances, but there's other information that we're also requesting from other places, the mayor's office, human resources. We just don't get any reports. If we could start getting reports quarterly, that would be fine.
Showing up at the meetings.
Clerk, you wanna take us ahead?
Yeah, is there, response of council and the mayor to remarks of the public?
Whoa, wait. We still on, the public.
Okay, will you speak up?
Alright, Mr. Charles jumped up. Alright, look, listen. This is directed to our counselor over safety and services. I need to know why our traffic signals on flash and who turned them on flashed. And it is a crime to tamper with a traffic signal. These officers are using these tampered signals to issue tickets. On the dates that these traffic signals were issued, citations need to be recalled, because those traffic signals issue a report of what time it was set on flash, and those who have keys to tamper with that traffic control device makes it illegal. I need you to check into that. That's at Eddie Road. The other one is at Taylor. I have a problem with a serious hole in front of a resident's house. The address is 1405 Orinoco. It is a major hole in front of their driveway. The lady that owns the property, her vehicle was wedged into that hole. It's a sinkhole in front of her driveway. That needs to be taken care of. The address is 14105 Orinoco. Thank you, and have a good night, council.
Who is that?
So I have one concern. Good evening, everybody. This is Jonathan McDonald. I would, during the finance
That was Irby.
review, there was mention of the awards from the CARES Act or grant money funds that the city of East Cleveland has. We're looking for those actual documents because we do believe this Friday, in which if funds are not being utilized, spent, and or allocated, then those funds shall be forfeited back to the federal government. And based upon my understanding, that amount is about $4.2 million. I could be incorrect because I do not have those documents. So my question to the finance director, where are those documents?
Finance Director, are you still there?
Yes, I am. I just wasn't sure you wanted me to.
No, go ahead.
Charles, this is not the format for that type of question. This is a council meeting. You know, this is not what you do at a council meeting. Charles. It's
Yeah.
not the format for that meeting. Council President, any document that you do not have, and I'm sure we've given you all the documents around this particular topic, you'll be as kind as to come up tomorrow, we'll give you those documents. Any document you don't have, we'll give it to you. You should already have them. I'm not sure what that particular person was asking for. This is not the format for it.
So, Mayor, good evening. Again, my name is Attorney Jonathan McDonald. I was just asking where the documents were at. So if you're saying they're with you for us to review, because other members of City Council stress the importance of finding out or ascertaining if in fact those funds are not spent by Friday, then the City of East Cleveland has to then give that money back to the federal government. So we don't know. And so if you're saying that you have those documents, then I can come over there and grab them and read them and see what the city's recourse is if in fact those funds have not been spent. Does that make sense? This isn't adversarial.
It does. I have not met you, and I'm not sure your position with this. Any document related to the CARES Act is in City Hall. We provided it to City Council. Now, specific document that you're looking for or you're asking about, Council President, if you will come in tomorrow, we will get you that document. You, sir, if you need that document, make a public records request, we'll give you the document. But all the CARES Act documents have been provided to City Council.
Mr. Mayor, just for the record, I requested those documents from Charles before the meeting. So I've already
You already
requested.
have those documents. These aren't documents that we just created today. We give you the documents
But-
when they come into the city.
Mr. Mayor, we've never gotten a grant award for any grant. I'm asking for a grant award document.
I tell you what, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Any document that you want, come in tomorrow, ask me for the document you're looking for. We'll work our best to sort it out so that we understand what you're looking for and get it to you.
Right, and you know, Mayor, I really appreciate that. This was not intended to be adversarial at all. It was just to make sure that the city as a whole did not miss a deadline, because $4.2 million, if it is that much as of right now, unspent funds or federal money, the entire city of East Cleveland could benefit from the utilization of those funds. So this isn't more like a witch hunt or an expedition, fishing expedition. It's more like, hey, if there is a federal deadline, all hands on deck, let's try to preserve this money for the taxpayers. That's it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your concern. We got it. Thank you.
Because Heather is stupid.
What?
That is.
Madam Clerk? Are there any other public remarks?
Remarks. Any other remarks or requests of the public? We have a response of council and the mayor to remarks of the public.
Mayor King?
Thank you, Council President. So, I have a tidbit. My mother tells me you should learn something new every day. I believe it was Friday. Superior as it comes out of Cleveland, is only a state road to Euclid Avenue. So when we were told that Superior was being repaid end to end, it was our understanding that they were going the entire length of East Cleveland, Superior. But upon further analysis, the Department of Transportation is telling us that it ends as a state route at Euclid Avenue. So now we have our consultants, OHM, looking into getting the rest of Euclid done. So there was a question of concern on that. So up to Euclid, down into Cleveland is already done. Euclid Avenue end to end will still be done. Unless there's any questions or concerns, I mean, that will conclude my comments.
Mayor, I got one for you, Councilman Austin. May I have a moment?
Please, go ahead.
As a point of clarity, you meant Superior to Euclid is where it stops. From Superior start in East Cleveland to Euclid Avenue is where it stops. And I think you said Euclid instead of Superior.
Sorry, yes, for clarity, somewhere around Superior and 125th is where East Cleveland starts, and it ends as a state road at Euclid Avenue. So from Euclid Avenue up is a county road, and our consultant, they're looking at now with the county trying to get the rest of it done. So thank you for that clarity.
Thank you, sir.
Unless there's any other further questions or concerns. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Counselor Austin, you have remarks?
Thank you very much. I think I heard Mr. Irby say that something was going on Orinoco. I think I got 1405 on the address. I think I'm gonna try to run by there and see how bad that sinkhole is, see if it's something the service department can handle, or see if they're gonna have to call for some bigger help. Mayor King, can you tell us the status of the leaf vac truck right now? Mayor King, can you hear me? Okay, the CARES Act info. I still have that big old packet from the CARES Act, so I guess I'll take it back over to the council office so the current clerk can actually have a copy in her records. But yeah, we did get that information as a council, and I think we still got some opportunity to go back and revisit some of the things that we want to do as far as the system support, like whether it's the vans for the replacement for Helen S. Brown, which was being used for the enhancement of the food issue program, the vehicle to assist us with other things or transportation support. Let's relook those things, because this is an opportunity for us not to miss out and to also increase our capacity for infrastructure support within the city. Taking a look at some of those things where we can actually use some of those dollars to put together something so that the residents that don't have heat, like my mom's power was out for a couple of days, and thankfully she was able to come over here and hang out with me because my power was on, but the city doesn't currently have the capacity to support a large number of, whether it's a kitchen to provide soup to a person that may not be able to warm their own, or a warming location. So I think this is an opportunity, because and COVID-19 is one of those things that the homeless cannot be left out of as far as support. So I ask that we take a look at some of those things that we've already kind of put in place and give the administration some of the support that we initially kind of, did not provide to them. So more to follow. Thank you very much for all you do, and stay vigilant. Be safe. That's all I have.
Counselor Martin?
I hope that we spend all of the CARES Act funding.
You're not audible.
I'm right on top of the computer.
You're not audible.
You can't hear me?
Phone's in front.
It's the original
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay. I was saying that I hope that we spend all the CARES Act funding and that we work out what we need to do in the next 24 hours in terms of what's been requested. And I'm counting on the administration to make sure that we spend everything we can. Again, I brought up the fact that we can use a lot of that money to clean our jail. I'm also in the courtroom right now,
Yes.
and it could use some new carpet and probably sanitizing. I know you have a corporation that comes in once or twice a week, but we're here in the courtroom and it's not as clean as it should be. That's my concern. I learned something tonight, and that was the fact that I didn't know that Euclid and Superior ended a state route. That going up from Superior and Euclid, going south, is a county street. So hopefully we can get that paved because there is a concern. I think Mr. Irby brought up some concerns that I hope that the mayor was listening. I know that Austin said that he would intercede on the spot where the sinkhole is and some other concerns about traffic lights that would reach out to the mayor to have that resolved. Tomorrow starts the budget hearings. They start at 11 o'clock, and it's my hope that the department heads fill out the form so that we can get through the budget hearings as soon as possible. And the questions are basic questions that come up on almost any budget hearing. The budget hearings are very important so we have a solid budget for 2021. We seem to be on time. I thank the administration for that. But we got 3 or 4 tomorrow, so for us to move forward, so we don't waste a lot of time, I'm hoping that all the department heads fill out the forms. I went over it a couple of days, and the questions are very solid. Cooperation and collaboration, working together. There's been a change, and sometimes change is not that easy. But if we're to move forward as we move into 2021 with this pandemic and some of the other issues we're dealing with, we get a lot more done if we work together. So I'm thanking you in terms of getting the documents that's been requested by our council and by the council body. So we got a lot to do. So let's work together. I'm reaching out to say let's work together to get done what we need to get done. And lastly, I want to mention that on September 1st, we made the change to council. There was 2 pieces of legislation that was voted on, to my knowledge. One was the Juneteenth. The other one to reduce the speed on Euclid Avenue to 30. And right now it seems to be in abeyance. So I'm asking the clerks to find that legislation because I'd like for that to come back up.
It passed.
It passed, but I haven't signed off on it. If it passed, I should have signed off on it a month ago. So I'm asking them to look into that. So everybody be safe. It's incumbent upon us to work together. That's the bottom line. I've spoken. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilor Dowdy?
Yeah, we want to thank each and every one of you from coming out tonight and about the CARES Act. You know, we passed it to have it, but we did not pass it so it can be spent, because we need to know where every penny go. So I hope that we can get some things done in our community. Especially, I came into the courtroom about a week ago, and a lot of people was getting evicted, you know. And it was so sad because they did not really have nowhere to go. And the landlords are so pressed also for money because that's part of their income. So if we can do something like that to help out the community, And, also, on Northfield, we have a problem with lights over there. One of the residents called me and said the lights is still not on over there, and it's dark over there. And I think that's not fair for our residents to be in the dark. After the storm that came, we don't even know what condition they are in today, you know. And a lot of people with the storm that we had the other day, the lights went off in some areas. I had to take in a few people, thank God that I had the opportunity of doing that. But a lot of them is not fortunate to go somewhere. So I know their refrigerators, and I know it's smelling and all that. By now the food is unthawed, you know. We going through some crisis right now with our residents. Hopefully we can reach out to them. And also, I'm looking forward to this budget hearing, because this is very, very important to know where every dime go into our city. A lot of things that we did not pass, and a lot of things we did pass. But the things that we did not pass, you know, for to go, the money go anywhere and everywhere, we hope that we can see where the money actually went, because we don't know how much money been spent out of that CARES Act. And for us not to pass it and you spending it, that's another issue that we'll be having. Far as Irby, thank you for being concerned about the holes and stuff in the streets for the residents, and the lights is blinking off and on, because that is a lot of problems. If you drive too fast, you might get a ticket, and you know, it can be a serious accident too, can be occurred. So the safety is more important than anything. And like I said, Northfield needs some help over there, and I hope that the lights will come on over there and get it fixed, because they've been out of power over there too long. And last but not least, I'm looking forward to having council to come together on one accord, because if we don't get it right, it's definitely gonna stay wrong. So we need to get on board, chop it up, you know. Council has been sued once before with Smithley. He sued council and it didn't go nowhere. When you doing stuff that you ain't supposed to be doing, it will come back and backfire on you, because 9 times out of 10, we did everything that we did in our power to do it right. And I'm glad that we is on one accord here to do the city business. And this is about the city business. This is about our resident. We have to put away our ego. So thank you for coming out. Thank you. And happy birthday again, Patricia. And you can, in Irby. And y'all continue having a blessed night. Thank you. That's my.
Thank you. Basically, I don't have a lot. I appreciate you all.
Turn the microphone towards Council President, please.
Thank you. Today is the beginning of a long rest of the week, but we're gonna make it through. I would like to tell the residents that the CDBG surveys are out. We need you to complete those surveys. The survey states on the bottom that the deadline is November 20th or November 16th, something like that. But anyway, I went down to the office and talked to them and was told that the deadline is December 2nd. So if you have a survey, you need to get it back in. If you want a survey, call the council office. We'll have some in the council office. And I will do my best to get some out into the community in Ward 4. Like I said earlier, the expenditure of funds is important. The securing of information is important in order for council to make intelligent decisions. We should not be making decisions that impact the city based on limited information. And I think that concludes my remarks for today. I hope that the clerk's reading of the summary sections of the legislation assisted you all in understanding what was going on as you requested. And if there's nothing further, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chairman, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, have a good evening.
Meeting adjourned at 7:39 p.m.